Vortex is back, and we're testing improved team deathmatch, which I've already played a few levels of, or matches rather. It's still basically just a camp fest, though. They did nothing to force players to move, so in high level or cooperative team deathmatch play, teams are always going to start clustering and grouping, even though you have different spawn points to select from. You did before, too. They added these funny little, I don't know, like pop-up walls, basically, for additional cover. You see them all around. They don't make a whole lot of difference. It's still a sniper's paradise. They just have to be better about picking their lanes of fire. See, we got zeniths already. Anyway, let me not focus so much on how bad team deathmatch sucks, and maybe talk a little bit more about how little damage that weapon does. Oh, look at that. That's it. I feel like a Patton would hit it harder. Let's do one of these. What? You're just completely screwed with the close range setup. Still, they have done nothing. I don't see what the improvements are. These vortexes are way too hard to curve. Miss. All they've done is give the snipers more play high. Really. I mean, if you look at the way these things set up, they're kind of mostly around the periphery with not really many in the middle. Which means snipers can move around the edges now as much as they want to try to get the best tactical position for their firing without really disrupting their lane of sight or exposing themselves to return fire, as evidenced by how many sniper or artillery builds we see in this match, and how fast we see anything close range get melted. This is more of a traditional deathmatch build. Anyway, my opinion on the Vortexes right now is that the additional accuracy buff feels like it helped. At least anecdotally, I seem to be connecting more. However, it doesn't feel quite like they've got the math as far as damage on that weapon goes just right yet. It still seems just a little too weak. Like, I feel like basically 2 Vortexes should equal 3 aphids, damage-wise. And right now, it's about 2.5 aphids. And that's it. Team Deathmatch is still a hot garbage mess for close range. I'm sure the campers will love it if they bring it back. They really need to set it up to prevent clustering, though. Have spawn points that move, or spawn points that are inactive until they're captured, or some such thing. Because without any objective to get people moving, they're not going to move. They're going to sit around under Ansels and lob artillery, and that does not make for a good game mode. And if they bring this back and force Domination and Beacon Rush into the same queue again, so that this garbage can exist, a lot more people will be quitting this game. The Vortex doesn't seem like anything to be afraid of unless they give it one of those pre-launch buffs that they're so fond of. And then that'll all be cool. That can mess things up, but it seems pretty fair and balanced so far. So even like a slight tweak to make 2 equal to 3 won't really hurt. But if they push it all the way up to where 2 equals 4, that's going to be bad. That's going to be really bad. But so far, this feels like a weapon with similar power to the Storm. And that ended up being $12 US. So I feel like $12 US and a similar power level for the Vortex would actually be in a good position. Oh, and they still need to remove Springfield, remove Canyon, remove Yamantu, like all those long maps from Team Deathmatch. They can't try to sneak them back in here like this just by adding some covers. The long maps are just way too problematic, even with the additional covers. Womp womp womp. See, that's what happens on Team Deathmatch when you run a bunch of close range setups. You get nuked before you can do any damage.